it bothers me that somebody's going after Bill Clinton. See, I like Bill Clinton. I still like Bill Clinton.
What do you like about him?
I liked his behavior toward me. I thought he got me. He understood me.
Donald Trump held a disastrous exclusive interview with NBC where he suddenly began praising Bill Clinton, expressing upset that Republicans are making Clinton testify, claiming Clinton really understands him. Donald Trump is panicking. Instant karma has arrived. Former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton have issued a direct challenge. You want us to testify about the Epstein files? We'll do it in public. What? The question now hangs in the air. Will Donald Trump do the same? When asked about Democrats' demand that he testify if Clinton does, Trump's response was revealing.
It is a shame.
NBC News broke the story today. I don't know if you saw it, that the Democrats are already saying, if you bring President Bill Clinton and he has to testify, we're bringing President Trump. What do you say to that?
I think they might say that, but they've already brought me. See, I've been brought. They had me indicted many, many times. Many, many times. They didn't do that.
Trump's panic is justified. What's in those Epstein files isn't disappearing. And this represents only a partial document release. At least 3 million additional documents remain withheld. Consider this fact. There are more references to Donald Trump in the Epstein files than there are references to Harry Potter across all 7 Harry Potter books. When Speaker Mike Johnson was asked whether Trump should testify under oath, he attempted to evade the question.
Shouldn't Trump have to answer some questions too? He's been named more than 1,000 times in these documents.
The president submits to press inquiries every day.
Not under oath, not under oath.
Not under oath, but he's asked the questions all the time and he answers them. We'll see where it goes.
The NBC interview proved disastrous on multiple fronts. When asked about ICE and Border Patrol agents killing Americans, Trump's primary concern was the bad publicity, not the deaths themselves. His focus centered on ratings and press coverage while people died.
It's bad. I hate it. I hate even talking about it. 2 people out of tens of thousands, okay? Mm-hmm. And you get bad publicity. Nobody talks about all of the murderers that were taken out of our country. They don't talk about...
but it was 2 Americans.
They don't talk about we have the smallest trucks. As an example, we've been very tough on the waters and soon, pretty much overall. But if you look at the waters where we knock out boats.
Trump then claimed he's receiving great polls on the economy. The reporter immediately fact-checked him, noting the polls actually show Americans hate what's happening economically.
I'm starting to get great polls on the economy, which I think is
the polls on the economy they're not great.
They should be great.
They should be. So why aren't they? If you believe that,
I don't know. I mean, look. I've got
Americans tell us, we hear this. I mean, we're going to get into the economy later, but they tell us they don't feel it.
Just so you understand. Yeah. I have $18 trillion being invested into the country. Biden had less than $1 trillion for 4 years, and the whole country was going to credit.
When does America feel it?
Do you know that if they won that election, and we won in a landslide, do you know if they won that election, this country I think it was finished.
Trump proceeded to brag about winning his $10 billion lawsuit against the government, the people's government, which he's essentially taken over. He sued the IRS, claiming they leaked his tax returns years ago when every other president voluntarily released their returns. When the reporter pointed out the $38 trillion national debt and noted Trump would be extracting money from the system, Trump claimed he'd donate it to charity. He's essentially stealing taxpayer dollars.
Essentially, the lawsuit's been won. I guess I won a lot of money.
How would this work, though? Scott Bessent's the head of the IRS. Pam Boondi's the head of the Justice Department. They're going to defend the IRS against you. You're their boss.
Well, there's never been anything like it, in all fairness.
So are you going to tell them to pay you?
Don't forget, I sued as a private citizen because I sued between terms. I won 3 times. Tell them to pay you? I won 3 times, but I didn't assume, unfortunately for this country, I didn't assume office the second time. But here's the story. I sued because they broke into Mar-a-Lago. That was before I became president. Now it goes along, and it turned out that the suit is a very strong suit.
You're going to tell them to pay you, though? Because you're the boss.
Well, what I would do, tell them to pay me, but I'll give 100% of the money to charity. I don't want any of the money.
You take it out of the system. A couple more questions here.
No, I'm putting it back into the system.
Yeah.
If I give money to American Cancer Society, I will give 100% of the money away to charity. I don't want any of it.
$30 trillion debt, and we're going to take $10 billion out of the system?
Well, I mean, you give it away anyway. They give away a lot of money.
Your endorsement
I'll tell you what, speaking about that, Minnesota and these other states, We have massive investigations going into fraud.
Yeah.
Do you know if we captured 50% of the fraud of this country right now, we would have better than a balanced budget. And you got to mention that Minnesota, $19 billion in fraud.
Trump also bragged about taking aspirin constantly to keep his blood nice and thin, ignoring his doctor's advice.
Still taking the aspirin? Still taking the aspirin?
I do. I take aspirin. And I don't want to change, I don't want to.
So you go against your doctor's orders. You do what you kind of feel.
I've been taking aspirin for 30 years, and I don't want to change it. So, they say take the smaller one. I say, well, I want that blood to be nice and thin running through my heart.
The dominoes are falling following the Epstein file release. National security advisors in Slovakia have resigned. Peter Mandelson, former UK ambassador to the United States, is no longer Lord Mandelson. Brad Karp, former chairman of the Paul Weiss law firm, the first major firm to capitulate to Trump with that mysterious settlement, has now resigned. Documents from 2019 show Epstein exchanging emails with Karp. That explains why Paul Weiss settled with Trump so quickly. Their chairman appeared in the Epstein files. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer's government faces crisis because Mandelson, highly influential in the Labour Party and the UK ambassador to the US, appears throughout the files. Starmer faced brutal questioning in Parliament yesterday. Contrast this with the United States, where Mike Johnson runs from questions. In other countries, officials face consequences for Epstein connections. Not in the US, where Trump sits at the center of the network.
Can the Prime Minister tell us, did the official security vetting he received mention Mandelson's ongoing relationship with the paedophile Jeffrey Epstein?
So clear. Prime Minister.
Yes, it did. As a result, various questions were put to him. I intend to disclose to this House all of the national security, prejudice to international relations on one side. I want to make sure this House sees the full documentation, so it will see for itself the extent to which time and time again Mandelson completely misrepresented the extent of his relationship with Epstein and lied throughout the process, including in response to the due diligence.
As Trump grows more desperate, disturbing statements emerge from his allies. Steve Bannon, whose photos Trump posted this week calling him a great guy, appears throughout the files. Bannon communicated with Epstein until Epstein's death about rehabilitating Epstein's image and apparently funneling information. And yesterday, Bannon made an alarming threat about the November elections.
You're damn right. We're going to have ICE surround the polls come November. We're not going to sit here and allow you to steal the country again. And you can whine and cry and throw your toys out of the pram all you want, but we will never again allow an election to be stolen.
Speaking of ICE, agents have reportedly been leaving Ace of Spades cards, known as death cards, associated with psychological warfare on vehicles of detained individuals as intimidation tactics.
Today, members of Congress are raising serious questions about this Ace of Spades card that they say is being placed by ICE agents in Colorado on the abandoned vehicles of people who have been detained. Lawmakers are calling this move an intimidation tactic because the Ace of Spades is also known as the death card, often associated with psychological warfare. One leader from an immigrant rights group in the state told a local station that they know of at least 2 people who had the card on their vehicles.
When asked about promoting conspiracy theories involving Italian satellites changing 2020 election results, Trump claimed he didn't tweet them. He retruthed them.
You've tweeted out some theories about Italians and satellites. I mean, do you believe that stuff?
No, I didn't cheat. I sometimes will retruth.
Yeah.
I will retruth.
Reports indicate Trump's director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, spent much of last year in Puerto Rico investigating one of Trump's deranged conspiracies about Venezuelan machines hacking American elections. Trump appears to be attempting to pressure Maduro into claiming Venezuela interfered in the 2020 election. Meanwhile, Melania was asked about Ghislaine Maxwell while holding a press conference with freed Israeli American hostages, which she was using to promote her documentary. When questioned about Maxwell, she refused to discuss it.
There was a call from an Epstein survivor to have Ghislaine Maxwell moved to a high security. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. We are here celebrating the release and the life of those two incredible people. So let's honor that.
Thank you. Trump has been sending fundraising emails to supporters featuring photos of him holding $100 bills, claiming he'll send tariff rebate checks, and asking supporters to verify their names are spelled correctly before he signs their checks. When supporters click expecting money, there's no check, just a donation request. He's taking their money while pretending to give them money. A scam artist in everything he does. The Clintons have called Trump's bluff. They're willing to testify publicly about Epstein. The question remains, will Trump do the same? His 38,000 appearances in those files suggest he won't.